Hi everyone, my name is Huang Jingyang. Our group members include Zhang Xiaoyi and Kang Ning. Our specific objective is to investigate the relationship between wine quality and related 11 variables. During this study, we used Tableau and Excel to do univariate analysis, bivariate analysis, and multivariate analysis. Applying R language to do multiple regression analysis and random forest. Details about these methods and tools will be introduced in the later parts.
Hello, my name is Zhang Xiaoyi. In this project, my job is to find the related work, do the data description, and do the experimental results in univariate and bivariate analysis. So firstly, let's start with the data description. We download the two datasets from the website of UCI, and we found that there are 12 variables, so we describe them one by one. And then, in order to get more accurate correlative relationship and eliminate the interference of different variables units, we do the data normalization in minimum, maximum, and mean, which can be shown in Table 1. And then, before we doing the analytics, we show the frequency histogram of red wine and white wine by using Tableau. Here we show the example of red wine. We can see that the red wine has quality from 3 to 8. Among that, the worst quality degree is 3 and the best is 8. Most of them have the grade range between 5 and 6. After knowing the degree, here we do the univariate analysis by using the analytical tool from Excel. Here we set an example of the attribute of alcohol in the red wine. Initially, we should estimate the range of alcohol from 8 to 16, and then we should use the analytical tool. Firstly, we should check the histogram, and then this is the range. So here we should select this part, and we click Sure. So this histogram of red wine in alcohol attribute can be shown in this place, and then we should change this to count and change this to alcohol, and then we done the histogram. Since we want to do the combination analysis of the univariate and bivariate, so here we do the next part. Firstly, we should join the red wine and white wine to get a comparison to do the further work, and then we should drag alcohol to the column and drag the white wine alcohol to the column 2. We change them to the dimension. Here is the two graph, so we need to set dual axis, and then we need to set the color of red wine. And then we should set the color of white wine and red wine. In this report, we're using blue line to represent the red wine, using orange line to represent the white wine. So here we can set the color to orange. So here we show the private bivariate analysis of the alcohol. So from both of the two figures, we can see that as for the left, the count of alcohol is concentrated on 10 and 12%, while as for the right, as we all know, the higher the alcohol level, the better the wine. So in this figure, the alcohol content in the middle upper wine is about 9 to 11, and most of a wine is generally less than 14%. So the quality between 5 to 6 has better quality. Here we show all the figures about univariate analysis and bivariate analysis in the appendix part of Figure 2 and Figure 3 respectively. And at last, in Figure 5, we show all the 11 variables together and do the bivariate analysis graph to find and validate whether there are some correlations between variables and variables. So we will do this clearly in the next part of multivariate analysis. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Huang Jingyang. Let me introduce how to use Tableau to do multivariate analysis. Open the Tableau and connect the red one and the white one data sources. In the new worksheet, we can see the 11 related variables in the measures area. Check one of our research objects to the columns and check another research object to the rows. Also check quality to the color and filters. Change all of them to the dimension. And select the discrete. Choose the circle marks and adjust their size. Select the show filter. We can see the quality filter and the different quality items on the right side. We can click different item to highlight the select item. Or we can move the slider to highlight the range of different quality items. If we would like to analyze another kind of wine, just click the data area. Choose the replace data source. So we can get a new figure about another kind of wine. According to this graph, we can do the multivariate analysis. So this is the details of the multivariate analysis by applying Tableau. And my group members will introduce other visualization tools and methods in the next part. That's all. Thank you.
Hello everybody, my name is Connie and I'm going to talk about the methodology. And here we are going to talk about the tools we have used and also the method we have learned. So first tool is the Tableau. We have learned it in class. And we use this tool to show the relationship between two or more variables, and it is quite simple to also show us the exact data and use more than one color to visualize. It is quite clear. And then the R language is really simple and useful for this topic, and I will talk about it later. And first method is data standardization. We have done the min-max normalization of both red and white wine data sets, and the formula is as follows. And the more important part is the multiple linear regression. It's just to find out the relationship between the independent variables and the dependent variable quality. And why regression is not only because we have learned it in class, but also the formula of linear regression is really concise and clear, very clear. And if we get a higher R square, it will be much easier to show the correlation between them. And then we do it. We just do it. And we do the linear model test. And then the normality test. Normality test, we can see here there are some outliers, but they didn't show all the numbers, so we want to do it later. And then the homogeneity test of variance. It will check if the population variance of different samples is the same. And then is a multiple linear test. It shows there are two variables are collinear. We will delete them later. And then the outlier test is very important. We show all the outliers and then we delete them. After we delete the outliers, we do the leaf graph. And we delete the useless variables. Just here, the citric acid, the density, and something else. So now we do the iterations of the linear regression. First, second, and third. And now is the random forest. Actually, we didn't want to do the random forest. We just want to do some just like decision trees or maybe SVM or something else. But here we choose because the decision tree, if we use that, the data set is not too large, and it even smaller after screening by the multiple linear regression. So we just choose the random forest to build a lot of decision trees. And the exact method is just we do a lot of decision trees, and these decision trees just choose n different samples by the bootstrapping method. And then we use bagging method to do the majority voting. And then the result is quite good. To do the prediction, we consider about the mean square error and correlation coefficient of the testing data set. We could find that we obtained quite good result after random forest worked. And then is a quick summary of the methodology and result. There's something different from others we have to see here. One is that we delete the outliers, and second is we use a random forest to do the prediction, maybe different from others. So that's all. That's all on my part. Thanks.